Good morning, cyber friends. This is Mitty Man coming back at you from Walker's Music. Yet another word for the day. We give God the glory and all the honor for life, health, and strength as well as it is. We also give Him all the praise. We want to give a shout out to the YouTube fam, Baby Justice, all the way to Big Papa JT as well as Mama JT. Y'all know the routine. Love you, and there's not too much you can do about it. Also to the End Time Harvest Gang, Brother L.A. from Kingdom Knowledge, Elder Michael McCray, Elect Sister 777, Lady D, Brother P.B. Drawing, Brother Hardin Cliff, Linda, Leonard, everybody that makes up the whole entire gang, Little Brother Orange Flavor. I want to say happy birthday to the U.S. of A. today, being July 4th, and on her birthday, we want to give her accolades. We got a lot of difference of opinion about the whole matter, but nevertheless, I realized a long time ago that you're never going to satisfy all the people, regardless. But you just speak the truth as best you know how, to the best of your ability, and make sure that you are right to the degree of your knowledge. And like I said, none of us know it all, and we speak partly. We speak mostly in part, and most of the information we get is secondhand information anyhow, because we have not been everywhere, and we have not talked to everybody anyway. So most of the stuff that we have is secondhand information. I often hear people say, "Well, how do you know this and how do you know that?" Well, that's a good question. How? But if you think about it, everything that we get is transferred to us through another, or through some other type of medium, through books, whatever, lectures, or whatever, word of mouth. But I'm here this morning, and to say, Bro JT, I saw your video, man, about the music and everything, and I had to check that out because, like I said, I'm a musician myself, man, and I love music as well. And I got to, when I listen to the video, cause sometimes I get your video, sometimes I don't. But this one came straight to my inbox, and I checked it out. Matter of fact, early this morning, and I'm just now being able to come back and do some comments on it. And I did comment on the video, but I know where you're coming from about that music, man. And I don't know why we want to make everything. I've heard so much, man, about the music industry in these last 6 months. I've heard about the devil, and I've heard enough to last me until Jesus comes. But I'm got to agree with you on one thing about this, man. Some of us, I don't know, we've lost reality, and I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you just because you love Frankie Beverly and Maze that you're gonna go to hell. I love Frankie Beverly and Maze too, so I guess I'm going too. I guess I'm out of here gonna pack my bag and we going that first train down there to hell because I like Frankie Beverly and Maze too. Matter of fact, I've heard a whole lot of people make reference to Earth, Wind, and Fire with the triangle. They making the starship and everything. Man, you know what? I'm not saying that some of the stuff may not have some validity in it and everything, but I'm gonna go back to the Garden of Eden. I'm gonna go back to the Garden of Eden just for a second or two. Remember when God came down after Adam had sinned? And the reason I say Adam alone because God gave Adam the commandment. And you remember what Adam said that when he answered God, and he said he was hiding. They were hiding, and God came walking in the cool of the day. And I believe that meaning that God waited until his anger subsided, because I can imagine that God was very angry after his prized creation had disobeyed him. So I'm quite sure God was pretty upset about that, angry. But nevertheless, you remember that the answer that Adam gave to God. He said we were naked. We hid ourselves. And you remember what God answered? He asked him a question. Who told you that you were naked? Let's stop it right there. Listen to what God said. Who told you that you were naked? Now I just said that to say, and I said that to make a point, to try to. I'm not trying to justify anything, but I just want us to think about it for a moment. Who told us that music was evil? That's a good question, right? Who told these people that going around talking about music as being evil? Who told them that? All right. Well, we won't even bother with that right about now. But let's move on a little further down the line of history. Music has evolved. Now we know that everything good, God created it. Satan cannot create. He's a created being. We get this information. Our brother Bruce Allen told this in an interview with brother Jamal Hartwell. He said that Satan is a created being himself, and that from the day he was created, there was found wickedness in him. See, God did not put wickedness in Lucifer. Lucifer was created perfect in all his ways until this pride was found, this evil and wickedness was found in him. I believe Lucifer became lifted up with pride because it's just like a lot of us, sometimes it's dangerous for some of us to get status quo. If we get status and people get to bragging on us too much, we begin to let it go to our head, and it inflates our head, and then we begin to want to be thinking that we are about something. But music in its natural form, God created it. God created it. So how can I say something is evil that God created? God forbid. Now, let's look at another thing that Brother Bruce Allen said about the music. He said, but now, from heaven to earth, music mutated, meaning something happened. It became contaminated. Satan being the culprit. Okay, now, Satan can use me. Satan can use Brother JT. Satan can use Brother LA. Satan can use Brother PP Drawing. All of us have some sense of music ability in us. And each one of us, either through rap, some of us can do a little rap and everything and get our point across to people. Well, people, that's exactly what music has been doing throughout the centuries. Now, I'm not no expert, but I did study music history. That was a requirement being a music major. And I can go all the way back to the hurdy-gurdy, all the way to the Gregorian chant and come forward and give you a history of music. But that wouldn't do even. What I think, Brother JT, and I feel you, brother, because, we've had that talk before about this music and about how people have decided to make one part, make it all bad. Well, I don't know about none of you, but when I'm out there in my studio, and whether I'm working on a PC, sometimes I work on PCs out there in my studio. Sometimes I go out there just to be away from everything, to let my head clear out. Or if I'm out just cleaning, doing general cleaning, sweeping the floor, whatever. I got an account at Groove, I think it's called Groove Shark. And I know some of you have seen it posts everything that I listen to on Facebook. It posts, if I listen to Earth, Wind, and Fire, you'll see the song and everything that I listen to. I'm not ashamed of it. I listen to all music. Does that music turn me? No. I know whom I believe. I'm just like the Apostle Paul. I know him whom I believe. But I'm not in heaven yet, people. I'm yet in this fleshly body. But I'm going to say something now, and then I'm going to try to end this video within a certain time frame. During the 60s, we had a metamorphosis in music. During the 60s. And I know a lot of you already know about this here, especially you, JT. I know you know about it, and Brother LA. I'm quite sure and Brother P.P. Drawings, and as well as Brother Hodgecliff, y'all know about what I'm fixing to say. Music went through a metamorphosis, I should say. It evolved again during the 60s. Main thing, the Woodstock generation would know about it, and had that big concert there, the age of Aquarius and everything, free love, and a lot of things took place at that time. During the 60s, the Vietnam War was very, very rampant. Then you had artists like Marvin Gaye, and I heard Brother JT mention Marvin Gaye, which was a fantastic performer, artist, musician, period. A lot of his songs were political at that time, mainly because of that war. And I'm just gonna name one of Marvin Gaye, just to let it, not to make the video too long. Marvin Gaye had a song, "What's Going On," and you don't have to be rocket scientist with the L scale with a slide rule to understand what he was talking about. I'm talking about the Vietnam War. Mothers, there are far too many of you crying. Brothers, there are far too many of you dying. That was the Vietnam War. Vietnam, or you want to call it Vietnam, whatever. During that time, Berry Gordy had Motown. Call it the legend. The slogan of Motown was that the young American talent. I think something like that. I don't want to misrepresent, the thing. I don't want to make sure that I'm saying it right, but the slogan, I think, was the sound of young America. And their nickname was called Hitsville, because it was mainly black artists. Matter of fact, it was all black artists. But Berry Gordy controlled what they could do, what they wore, and everything. And because he was trying to let them, to promote them, I should say, to the mainstream America, which was white America in the music, to a degree. Now, I heard this here through word of mouth and through other various sources, and I will go and name one of them, because our brother's dead and gone right about now. But one of the Temptations, very, very smooth, singer himself, and y'all know who I'm talking about, Eddie Kendrick. This is a Birmingham boy, and I can't say boy, because I mean that in respectfully. Eddie said himself, he really didn't even care too much for Berry. Why? I don't know. That's not the point. The point of the matter is what I'm saying now is, I understand where Brother JT is coming from by us being, sometimes we just got too, I feel like we just forgot. I love the Lord. And I don't feel that God's going to put me in hell because I sat down and I listened to I Feel Sanctified by the Commodores, or Reason by Earth, Wind and Fire, or September. Music is music to me. Now, I know that you can take it and contaminate it, because a lot of artists have done that, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't drop. Now, I'm not advocating that. No. Because all this here putting down on women, I'm not for that. Cursing and all that, every third beat is a cursing or MF and or this. No, I'm not talking about that, people. I'm talking about pure, clean music. Just music. That's what I'm talking about. So, who am I to say what? I feel like, he said we're going to be surprised if we just get to heaven. First of all, you're going to be surprised you there. But he said that we're going to be surprised because of the people that you think you're going to see. You're not going to see them. This is this self-righteous religious group. That's what I believe that he's speaking of. But I'm going to say this much, and then I'm going to end this video. I'm just going to quote something. I'm just going to remind us of something that Paul spoke about Peter. You remember when, after the Gentiles received the baptism of the Holy Ghost as well as the Jews. Paul tried to go to the Jews. Then he said, from now forth, I go to the Gentiles. In other words, Paul was called to the Gentiles. And he was with the Greeks and the different ones of the learning. The Greek was a more intellectuals. That's what they was big on learning. and education. But at any rate, when Peter was with Paul at that time, with those, the Gentiles, and he had no problem. He ate with them, he was having fun with them and everything. But when the Jews came down, certain ones from the church of Jerusalem came down, Peter withdrew himself. And remember, Paul called him out and told him off to his face. He said, Peter, now see, before James and them came down, you didn't have no problem with these people. But now, see, you playing the hypocrite. That's what I think people will be doing sometime. You know, like I said, I'm going to probably get ridiculed. I'm going to probably get talked about for this video, but I don't care. Because I feel the same way that Paul do. Let's not be a hypocrite, people, because you know what I'm saying now. I can get on this camera and act all religious and everything like I don't do nothing. But all you got to do is look at Facebook and you can see what I listen to. I'm not going to say I don't listen to my music, because I listen to my music. And I love to listen to my music. I got everything Michael Jackson ever made. Do I still listen to it? Yes, I do. And if some of you got a problem with that, then, well, I'm so sorry. But God knows I love my music, and I do love my Lord. But I love my music also. So now, you know, until God changed that, I feel if it's something that I need to be changed, God gonna do it. It won't be, because see, first of all, see, I'm too busy to worry about what other folk think about me, man. And I think you should be the same thing. As long as you'll make sure your motives are right. Like Brother P.P. Jordan said, it's your heart posture. Make sure your heart is right with God. And let's forget about all this in self-righteous deeds. Because like I say, we can make our mouth say anything. But it's the action. Jesus said, you know every tree by its fruit. Now, if you can't listen to Michael Jackson Beat It, or if you can't listen to Billie Jean, if you can't listen to Rocky Robin, well then don't you listen to it. But don't criticize the next man, because they can listen to it and enjoy it. Music is a universal language, and I agree with Brother JT about that, because I know I can be feeling mighty down sometimes, and we all get there. We are human people. Let's be real. Let's stop being a hypocrite. Let's just be real. Sometimes we can be way down, and I can listen to some of that music, that old school music that I used to listen to back in the 80s and the 70s, and it lifts me up. And I get to be feeling good. Now call it what you will. But I just call it music. And I know that God made it. And if anything is wrong, and I'm not telling people to indulge in this here filth. No, Many Man did not say that. And I know, because there are some filth out there, and I know it. But I'm just saying, enjoy our life. We don't only have one. Love the Lord thy God. But don't become your head up so heavenly bound, you can do like Brother JT said, no earthly good. Let's just be for real. And I don't tell nobody to live a double standard life now. Oh no, I don't speak that. That's not what I said, but I just said music. In its pure form, all came from the Father of lights. Why? Because the Bible said all good gifts come from the Father of light. With that being said, Many Man said, I hope everybody have a good safe, be sensible. If God's not in it, you get out of it. This Many Man saying peace and goodbye.